Hey everyone, welcome back to Talk Léo. I'm Leo, and if this is your first time here, welcome. This is the show where we just talk in English. No lessons, no grammar rules on the board. Just a real conversation between two people. And you listening in.
And I'm G. Hi, everyone. So, last episode, we talked about introductions, how to say your name, where you're from, and how to start a conversation from zero.
And today, we're going one step further because there's one question in English that absolutely everyone hears every single day. And most beginners answer it the exact same way every time.
Fine, thank you. And you?
Fine, thank you, and you. Every single time, like a robot.
And look, it's not wrong. It's just not very natural. And today we're going to fix that.
We're going to show you how real English speakers answer that question, how they react, how they keep the conversation going, and how you can do the same thing. Ready?
Let's go.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. The question is, how are you? Simple, right? But the answer, that's where it gets interesting.
So, the most common answer that beginners learn is fine, thank you. And it works. But in real conversations, native speakers almost never say that.
Almost never. Think about it. When was the last time someone asked you how you were doing and you said, I am fine, thank you very much? Sounds weird, right?
It does. So, what do people actually say?
So many things like, I'm good. That's probably the most common one in American English. Super simple, super casual.
And in British English, you'd hear not bad a lot, or just good, thanks. Very short, very natural.
Right, or pretty good, which adds a little bit of emphasis. Like things are going well, actually.
And then there's can't complain, which I love. It means things are fine, maybe not perfect, but you're not going to complain about it.
Very adult energy. Very I've got my life together energy.
Exactly. And what about when things are not so great? Because sometimes someone asks how you are and things aren't great.
Good point. You don't have to lie. You can say, not great, honestly, or I've been better, or even just, hey, it's been a rough day.
And people appreciate that honesty. It makes the conversation feel real. Of course, you read the room. You wouldn't say that to your boss on the first day of work.
Ha! No, probably not. But with a friend, with someone you know, being honest about how you feel is totally normal,
And there's one more thing that beginners often forget. After you answer, you ask back.
always. How about you? Or, and you? Or, what about yourself? You keep the ball moving. We talked about this last episode. Don't hold the conversation ball forever.
Pass it back every time.
Okay, so now we know how to answer, how are you? But here's the next challenge. What do you say after the other person answers?
Oh, this is so important because a lot of beginners freeze right here. Someone says, I'm good, and then silence,
Awkward silence.
the worst kind of silence.
So what do? You react. And reacting in English is actually really simple. You just need a few phrases.
Like, oh, that's great, or glad to hear it. When someone says things are going well, those are your positive reactions.
And if someone says things aren't going so well, oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Or, oh, that's rough. Or just, oh, that sucks. Which is very casual but very real.
That sucks is one of those phrases that sounds rude if you translate it literally, but is actually just a normal, sympathetic reaction in English.
Exactly. Context is everything. And then, after you react, you can ask a follow up question. That's what keeps the conversation alive.
Right? So if someone says, I've been a little stressed lately, you don't just say, oh, sorry, and move on. You say, what's going on? Or anything I can help with? Or even just, do you want to talk about it?
And suddenly, you're not just exchanging greetings anymore. You're actually having a conversation.
That's the magic. And it all starts with that one question. How are you?
Let's also talk about something that confuses a lot of learners. Sometimes, how are you is not really a question, it's just a greeting.
Yes. Like when you walk past someone at work or at school and they say, Hey, how are you, while still walking? They don't actually expect a full answer.
They're just saying hello. So in that case, you just say, good, you, and keep moving. You don't stop to explain your entire week.
Ha! Imagine stopping every person who says, How are you? To give a full update on your life. You'd never get anywhere.
Exactly. So you have to read the situation. Is this a real question or just a greeting? Is this person stopping to talk or just passing by?
And with practice, you start to feel the difference naturally. That's the beautiful thing about just listening to English. Your brain starts to understand the patterns without you even thinking about it.
Okay, let's talk about something really practical. Because the way you greet someone changes completely depending on where you are and who you're talking to.
Absolutely. The English you use with your best friend is very different from the English you use in a job interview, or at a store, or at school.
Let's go through some situations. First, meeting a friend. Casual, relaxed. What do you say?
Oh, so many options. Hey, how's it going? What's up? How have you been? These are all super casual and friendly.
What's up? Is a big one in American English. You just answer with not much you or same old, same old. It's very laid back.
We don't really say what's up in British English the same way. I'd say, you all right? Or how are you doing? A little more traditional.
And we talked about you all right last episode. Remember how confusing that was for me the first time?
You thought something was wrong.
I thought Guy was worried about me. But no, in British English, you all right just means, hello, how are you? It's perfectly normal.
Now let's talk about a more formal situation, like at work, especially with someone you don't know very well or someone more senior than you.
In that case, you'd use how are you or how do you do, which is very formal, very British.
How do you do? Is actually quite old fashioned, even in the UK now, but you might still hear it in very formal settings. And the interesting thing is, the answer to how do you do is also how do you do, not an actual description of how you're doing.
Wait, you answer a question with the same question?
In very formal British contexts, yes, it's just an exchange of formalities. English is wild sometimes, it really is. And then there's the store situation. When you walk into a shop and the employee says, Hi, how are you today? That's polite, it's friendly, but it's also part of their job.
So you just say, good, thanks, and you, or I'm well, thank you. Short, polite, friendly, and then you get to what you actually came in for.
The same goes for restaurants, banks, anywhere you're dealing with a professional, polite, brief, and then move on to the business.
And at school, with classmates,
Very casual. Hey, what's up? How's your day going? Relaxed, friendly, no pressure.
the key takeaway here is match the energy of the place you're in. Formal place, more formal language. Casual place, relax and have fun with it.
Okay, it's time to put everything together. We're going to simulate 3 different conversations, and each one happens in a different situation.
Ready? First one, two friends running into each other on the street. Hey, Guy, oh my gosh, it's been forever.
Leo, hi, how are you doing?
I'm great, honestly. Work has been crazy busy, but in a good way. What about you? How have you been?
Not bad at all. I just got back from a trip, actually. Went to Portugal last week.
No way. That's amazing. How was it?
Absolutely incredible. I'd go back tomorrow if I could.
Okay, you have to tell me everything. Do you have time for a coffee?
Always.
Next one, a work situation, a colleague you don't know very well.
Good morning. How are you today?
Morning. I'm well, thank you. And yourself?
Pretty good, thanks. Busy week so far.
Tell me about it. Are you heading to the 10 o'clock meeting?
Yes, just on my way there now.
Great. I'll see you in there. And the last one, at a store.
Hi there. How are you today?
Doing great, thanks. Are you finding everything okay?
I'm well, thank you. Yes, actually. I'm looking for something specific. Do you have this in a different color?
Let me check for you. Okay, let's wrap this up. Today we covered a lot, and all of it started with one little question. How are you?
We talked about how to answer naturally, not just fine, thank you, but with real human responses like, I'm good, not bad, can't complain, or even I've been better when things aren't great.
We talked about how to react when the other person answers, how to show empathy, ask follow-up questions, and keep the conversation alive.
We talked about how the situation changes everything. A greeting between friends sounds completely different from a greeting at work or in a store.
And we did 3 full conversations, so you could hear all of this in action.
The big lesson today? A greeting is just a door. You open it, and then you decide how far to go in. Sometimes you just walk past. Sometimes you stay for a coffee. The language gives you the tools. You decide what to do with them. Practice these this week. Next time someone asks, how are you? Try something new. Not fine, thank you. Something real. And next episode, we're going to talk about time. How to say what time it is, how to talk about your routine, and all those expressions that come up every single day. It's going to be a great one. See you next time.
Peace.